On lap 2, and now under caution, Juan Pablo Montoya has crashed and gone aflame.
Holy cow, what happened?
We just got a report that he was complaining about a bad vibration in every gear.
No, Larry, he just slammed
into
the
jet dryer.
I think he slammed into the jet dryer.
They're trying to clear debris off the racetrack, and the car brakes, won't steer, and he slides up the track and into the back of that surplus helicopter jet engine on a trailer used to dry the racetrack.
Mike, I saw sparks coming out from the car as if it had a tire down or something. What an incredible turn of events. I've never in my life. Oh my gosh.
And all that spilled jet fuel found something hot to ignite it. Safety workers quickly on the scene. And this is a bizarre twist to this Daytona 500. Down in turn number 3.
Yeah, something massively broken. Yes, with the transmission or something. If I try to accelerate, it just starts vibrating out of control every gear. Look at the rear of the car. Hey, we just broke and hit the safety truck. You all right? You all right? This guy's trying to get out of the car. He might be on fire. He's out of the car.
Brake finally broke, and when it did, it sent him out of control. Look at this leaderboard we've got.
Dave Blaney, Landon Castle, Tony Raines, David Gilliland, and Matt Kenseth, the former 500 winner and former champion, is in 5th place.
Joey Myers, Brad Keselowski's pilot and spotter, and he's been telling Brad exactly what's been taking place with this accident. So for the first time probably in Daytona 500 history, Brad, who has his iPhone inside his race car, a lot of drivers during testing had special compartments built. He still has his phone inside the car. He tweeted a picture. First time ever. Prime time, Daytona 500. First time picture tweeted during the race.
Phoenix. Well, we've seen fire and we've seen rain. Not in that order. We still have 40 laps to go in the Daytona 500.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. Juan, we heard you say in your radio transmission that you felt a vibration. What in the heck happened?
Well, I told him I left the pits of the pit stop and I felt really weird vibration. We were with the pack, and every time I got on the gas vibrated. So I came back in, they checked all the rear end, they said it was okay. And I got into the back straight, and we were going 4th gear, but we we're not even going that fast. And every time I got on the gas, the rear was like I could feel the rear really squeezing, and I got on the brakes, travel up. And while I was telling the spotter to have a look how the rear was moving, the car just turned right.
Juan, I also asked you talked to the gentleman who was in the jet dryer. He was in the ambulance with you as well, right?
Yeah, he was okay. You know, he just looks pretty scared, put it that way.
All right, thanks. We're so glad you're all right.
Yeah, you know, to be honest with you, it's tough. You know, we're running a really smart race. You know, everybody in the target shape really did a good job today, and just move on to Phoenix.
All right, thank you, Juan.
Thank you.
Of course, Dave Blaney wondering that same thing. How's this for how our world has changed? Dave Blaney not on Twitter, the team joking he needs to get on it. Well, he might need to get on it after this race. He is now trending worldwide. Dave Blaney, the 5th highest Twitter topic as we speak. TBR Racing is on Twitter. Dave Blaney is not.
Oh, Carl Edwards has a major concern. We listened in.
Yeah, I would really like a snack cracker or something over here. Yes, I was thinking of maybe a Ritz or a sub sandwich, or maybe better yet, a Cheez-It. Cheez-Its would be the best, honestly. I like Cheez-It.
Bob, it's so Bob. I like
Osborne.
Yeah.
I got a question. Where'd they all get the ball caps?
Oh, they carry them in their cars now. They hook them around. They hook them around their shifter.
They carry ball caps, cell phones. Carl just doesn't have any snacks with him.
Mike, we all know a few moments ago we were looking at Tommy Baldwin up here, and a lot of people, including Roger Penske, walked over and were laughing about the fact that, hey, have you got another car for Talladega? Because you know that if he wins tonight, his car would go in Daytona USA. They would keep it for a year. Tommy says, no way, dude. I need parts off that car just to get to Phoenix next weekend. So there's not a lot of parts and pieces going on around, as far as this new EFI is concerned, and Tommy Baldwin's concerned about that just a little.
Once we get back underway. There's Brad Keselowski. He's tweeting again. Can't tweet and drive. Please don't tweet and drive, especially not at 195 miles an hour. Welcome back to Fox Sports. Live coverage of the Daytona 500 red flag for an accident up in turn number 3. A little throwback action, and boy, give a shout out to these hardy race fans who braved the rain yesterday all day long, trying to get this race underway. Today, NASCAR made the decision.
You think Dave Blaney's ever had so many friends? they've all gathered at his car.
Right.
Yeah, there's a bunch of those guys saying bad luck. Blaney said, what are you talking about?
Right next to Dale Jr. We'll point him out to you in a little bit there, but you're right. He's got a big crowd right around his car. Okay, there is Blaney right there.
First, Dave, what a call by your team.
Yeah. Really, I think we were planning on making, big changes to the car. The right front's busted up a little bit, so we knew we were going to take time to do that and probably start at the back of the pack anyway. So, we'll lead a lap and look where we're sitting.
If we get this race back going, in which NASCAR intends to, do you feel like the damage is going to be too significant to be still competitive up at the front?
Well, no, it's been like that since lap 50. I can still hang in the pack just fine. It's, it doesn't handle quite as good, so when it comes right down to it, it's going to hurt me, but it's not killing us. We're still in the race with it, so yeah, we'll be fine.
As we move farther along down the line, the master Twitter person back on the backstretch, what was the latest thing? Were you able to get close enough to see before NASCAR made you guys come back to see what the racetrack looked like?
No, not really, but I've seen a lot of cool pictures on my phone that nobody else has a phone, so they should get one so they know what's going on. So they keep making fun of me for it, but I'm having a good time, and it's great to talk to the fans. Thanks for following me on at Keselowski. It's been a blast. Trying to fill a little bit of time, but we're going to get this fixed. We're going to get back on the track, and hopefully we can get to Miller Lite Dodge and Victor Lane.
Thank you, Steve. We're in the rinse cycle now.
We just all been talking about everything but racing back here.
What kind of conversations have you had?
None for the television. So
those are always the best.
Yeah, those are the best. Our car is good. We found our way, toward the front there right before that caution, and I feel like we're in good position for the rest of the race. We just need to hold his track position, have a shot at it.
All right, good luck. Carl Edwards, you had a major issue. You were telling your team on the radio that you were either hoping for Frosted Flakes or Cheez-Its.
Or some Subway would be nice. I can't believe you came all the way over here and didn't bring something to eat for all of us.
Well, we didn't have really enough room in the truck for food.
Yeah, Matt ordered some food, but the NASCAR didn't bring it yet. So, we're just obviously excited to get this thing fixed and go finish this race. We got a pretty good Fastenal Fusion. Maybe not as good as Greg and Matt's cars, but Matt's messing with you right now. No, our car is very good, and we had a little fuel issue at one point, and
it's called focus.
Yeah, I think Matt was messing with the fuel system earlier or something, but once we got that worked out, I think we're going to be good. It's going to be good.
Now, when you try to describe the action on the racetrack for the fans at home from your cockpit, what it's called electronics, Matt. What?
Larry, just erase that one, will you? Get that one off there. Get it out of there.
Now, since everyone wanted to see the pictures from the back straightaway, Brad Keselowski has now picked up tens of thousands of Twitter followers since the red flag came up.
Dave Blaney had his phone. I'm sure Brad could set him up on Twitter during this red flag.
55,000 since the Reds most recently at Talladega last October. Back driving for Bill Davis, nearly won a Cup race at Atlanta. Had some problems, didn't make it to the flag. He's a World of Outlaws sprint car champion. His son races. He's got a great outlook. He got into the top 35 in owner points last season, but his owner snatched that golden ticket, applied it to a different team, and said, Dave, you're going to have to race your way into the 500 again. He did, and he now has the lead as everybody's having a little fun with the Brad Keselowski sprint phone.
I was just looking at the TV, watching all the drivers back there play with their phones, and there's no telling what they're doing back there. So it's amazing. These guys, they drive 200 mile an hour. They got race cars. They love all these great things, and their phones are some of their biggest toys. So we'll see here. There potentially some rain, but we still.
Yeah, the Twitter thing has gone nuts. Brad Keselowski's Twitter account, I think, has crashed. I just got a tweet from Sarah, Jessica, and Fausto Stevie back in Franklin. They're having a 500 party, and they're about to run out of dip. So can you get this thing going again, Dad?
And it looks like they may send the blowers there and send the drivers back to their cars. To a huge roar from the grandstand here that remains 3/4 full. As these fans have seen rain and now fire and put up with a day and a half of delays. They don't want to be denied because they know that the last laps of this race, as these drivers have told you, are going to be electrifying.
They're like, these fans are like marathon runners. I'm going to finish this race even if I have to walk across the line.
$0.5 million that's involved in it. Here come the crew members back on the bus. They've gotten their drivers back into it. And again, Mikey, just when you think you've seen everything in racing.
Well, it's really tough to get all hooked up in these cars, John. You got to have a little bit of help. So they sent the bus over and said, come on, guys, we'll give you a ride to the back straightaway. And they'll do all the final touches on making sure the Hans devices are hooked up, the radios are hooked up so these guys can be ready. I'm going to predict, Johnny, they're going to need those Hans devices in these last 40 laps, 100 miles, because it's going to be very intense. There's going to be a lot of scraping and shoving.
Having a good time, talked to Denny quite a bit. I told him I'd give him that $200,000 if he pushed me to the checker flag there. So we'll see what we can work out. But it's been a good race. We got a great Napa Toyota. Guys built me a fast hot rod, and just hopefully we get to the end of this thing and have a shot at it.
One problem on Toya, Larry had mentioned it looked like they were certainly working on the transmission of the car. Something dribbled that race car into the jet car and killed Larry and up in flames. And as we're looking for the shot, we can look like it.
Now, I agree with Eli Goldman and Bill Moore. I've been around racing for 40 years or so and never seen anything. I've seen some bizarre things, but never anything like this. Just that huge fire. Luckily, Juan Pablo Montoya was able to get out of his car. Hopefully, those that were in the jet truck up in the can were able to get out and get down the banking and away from that racetrack.
Well, this is the first one to do that.